I believe that if you didn't want to change the world, you wouldn't be in this room. But how many people have actually studied the science of transformation in this room? What does it take to create it? What does it take to sustain it? If you study the science of transformation, you're going to find 5 recurring elements. And those are that it takes people, influence, funds, energy, and dedication to actually create sustainable change. And did you realize that business is actually the greatest vehicle for transformation our world currently has available? Business already has these elements in its very DNA. It has people, which are the employees and everyone the company touches. It's got influence, which is the fact that business has the power to affect change on a major level. It's got energy, and that is the planned and continuous action towards the goal. And it's got dedication because it has people who have enough passion to suffer through the transition for greater outcome. So many Christians feel the only way to change the world and be living God's calling is to join the ministry or go in as a missionary. And I was one of those people. There's 2 things wrong with that line of thinking. One is that there are probably more than 2 fields of work you can go into and still be living God's calling. And the second one is that you can lose a lot of momentum when you need funding for different projects if you're constantly waiting for somebody else to give you that. I had a vision when I was 12 that I was called to missions in Africa. So I went to a leadership and survival school to prepare for this journey. We had teachers come in and speak to our class all the time from all over the world. And one day they were going to have this Christian millionaire business guy come in and talk to us. So like any good student, I skipped class. Because business and money were never going to be part of my life, I was going to be a missionary. I didn't realize he was speaking multiple days, so I ended up in his class the next day anyway. I'm in the back, totally goofing off, and he asked a question, and it was, has anyone in here been on a mission trip? And I raised my hand because I felt like I should participate in part of this. I had just been to Africa the summer before, and he said, has anyone had to raise funds for this mission trip? Did anyone not like that experience? It was horrible. I bugged the heck out of all of our friends, family's friends, barely raised enough money to go, and everybody was pretty upset at the end of it. But I got there. Then he said, did you know that you could buy a house with no money down? This was 2007. And if your mortgage payment is $900 a month, but you rent it out for $1,200 a month, you get to keep that $300. Go on, my 18-year-old brain was thinking. He said, do that 10 times, and you can live in Africa, and you never have to send those sponsorship letters again. Genius. So I went and contracted my first house 2 weeks later, and I was 18 years old. In the process of actually buying this, I learned about this thing called renovating houses. I learned that you could make enough money renovating houses to then buy apartment complexes, and instead of managing all these houses all over the place and trying to have cash flow off those, you could actually do more if you just bought one apartment complex. I'd never been talked to about these things before. So I created a new goal, and my goal was I am going to work my butt off. And I'm going to buy an apartment complex before I turn 26, and I'm moving. And then, if I get that, I can build orphanages while I'm over there. So that was my plan. So I decided to embark on the great adventure of joining into the world of real estate in the best time you possibly could, the Great Recession. 2007, 2008, 2009 were pretty much me just falling on my face, looking like a total failure, and losing a lot of friends, and my family didn't even speak to me for 2 years. But during this time, the name Ariel was given to me in a dream. The name Ariel means to rise above the current situation and keep the big picture view. I did not realize at the time at all how important this name would actually be. In 2011, after living in my car and working for free for 9 months for some people in the renovation business. I'm sorry, guys, this flippy thing is messed up. My renovation business actually took off in 2011. The burning desire to execute on opportunity for those who have none was the driver and what it took for me to actually overcome all the obstacles that I had to face during those years. In 2013, I went back to Africa, and on the plane, I told my friend, well, I'm pretty useless. I have no skills that will actually help these people, and all I know is real estate. I don't know how I'm going to contribute at all. We were at the second orphanage when the light bulb turned on. We were looking to build the second one. And while we were there, I helped do the land deal. I then created the site plan, and then I worked to draw out the architectural plans for where the kids were going to live. And because I was the newest in business at the time, I helped write the business plan that would actually create the entire place to be self-sustainable if we built enough gardens, the chicken farms were large enough, and we had a large enough supply of milk that we could sell these things in the marketplace to cover overhead. And the thought occurred to me, is it business that could really make a difference? So my two big lessons in Kenya were, we can change lives through the built environment. As we were developing that second orphanage site, everything around there was transforming. People were wanting to build little businesses all around our site. It was incredible the change that was happening so fast. And that creating opportunity through capitalism is the fastest and most sustainable way that we can help people. I'd been on so many mission trips every year throughout high school, and I felt like I wasn't leaving a big enough impact and a lasting change. So my vision transformed. I was actually no longer just to make enough money before I left the U.S., and I didn't want to send those sponsorship letters anymore. The vision was actually to come back and learn the art of transformation. What does it take to actually change it? And if I can master that here, then eventually I could transform third world countries and bring opportunity to those who have none. Our business model actually went from just building houses to strategically transforming neighborhoods from places people didn't want to be into places that were the coolest neighborhoods in Nashville. And how can we do this while empowering the people that live there? We learned that we can make a difference with the money that's a result of our business, and also in the way that we even do business. I figured I'm probably not the first person to start thinking like this, so I started researching who else is doing this. And I came upon Whole Foods, Ben & Jerry's, Tom's Shoes, Patagonia. There are thousands of companies in totally different industries that are finding a way to make a difference while doing business on a daily basis. The new wave of capitalism is the movement of executives who are keeping the big picture in mind as they create for-profit, socially conscious companies. These people are going aerial. Their vision and day-to-day actions using their business as a force for good. And I want to challenge all of you world changers. How can you contribute using a business vehicle of your own? Thank you.